Hey YouTube, today's going to be another day of DIY. We're now going to do that side of the office behind the camera, so that's going to be very hard work. I better get to it. Right. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, what? This is the trouble with Zoe. She has a nice trip down memory lane when she's supposed to be working. Come on, mush!
My dad's old notebook that he gave me, and I put my first ideas for a world building for a set of novels.
Alright, so what sort of vintage is that?
Not entirely sure. This is probably like 1992, 1993.
Fair enough, anyway.
No, this drawing is 1996. Oh.
Come on, Zoe.
Amazing. 1996. And we're done.
No, we don't still have to get that out of here.
No, we're done. It's clear. That's what I mean.
Look at the space.
I haven't seen this corner since we moved in.
Well, no, since we built the wall and painted it.
That's essentially the same thing.
Hey, look, we missed a bit with the...
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Oh, my goodness.
Right. Let's get to work.
Now the work area is clear. Jen is going to measure and cut a bit of wood. And I, however, am going to go on a very important mission because just as an army marches on its stomach, DIY cannot be done without a sandwich.
Right, I've got a top thing on. I'm doing the side thing. And making use of some of the larger roll plugs that Zoe bought. It was like a pack, multi-pack. And by going one size slightly bigger, in any of the holes where we've gone into the cement between the bricks, so the hole's gone a little bit bigger, it just ensures that we get a good screw into the wall. What's going to happen is that these go on the wall and create a sort of frame. Into this frame, we've got that jab light soundproofing. That's going to go on. It's also a heat insulator, so it'll also insulate this wall, so it'll be warmer. And then on top of that, we screw the units that we've already built.
Fair enough.
And that's the plan. Sounds really simple, as most plans usually do in the planning stage. Anyway, hammer time.
Jen's doing a really good job there. I'm keeping out of the way because it's a smaller area than when we were putting together the gaming shelves. And as you can hear from the fact that I'm exhausted, all I've done today is walk out to get a sandwich and a couple of drinks. I'm still exhausted because I'm just worn out. We're doing an awful lot while I'm still actually recovering from me now. So I'm keeping out the way, letting her do the work, and when she needs me she'll call, but for the moment I'm staying out the way. Right, first piece is up. It's looking good, babe.
Yeah, finally hiding that awful pattern that was on the wall. They'd had wallpaper in here, and it was like ye olde wallpaper from the 1920s, and even though it had probably long gone, it had left the pattern in the horse glue on the wall. Could we get it off? No. Could we paint over it? With immense difficulty. I've got to cut another piece of insulation to fit in there, and then I need to put a filler piece down here, and then a piece across the bottom. And then once this is filled with insulation as well, we can bring up the biggest one and get it straight on the wall.
Yay.
Get it level, because once it's on the wall, we've got our datum point for where the next one is going to.
You're pulling the back up when it's going in.
I don't get it. Why is there a gap?
This is the problem we have. That is a fairly substantial gap down the back, which I can get my finger into. And it's causing some of these screws to come out with it coming off the back of the new set of shelves, and that's a problem.
So I happen to have a very thin piece of wood, which is pretty much the same thickness as the gap. So we're going to unscrew down the side, slide this into the gap and rescrew, and it'll crush onto this rather than pulling the back wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, that's worked. Nice bracing on the back now. Captain DIY, are we finished?
That little bit is. I've got to put a little bit of a frame on the wall there. We get the small unit underneath, and then we've got the unit that goes across the top of the windowsill to do as well. But this is really quite strong now.
If that had fallen off, I'd have cried. I'm running out of energy fast, and I can't lie down on any of the beds because they're covered in stuff from the shelves. So I'm laid on the floor, out of the way from Jen, so that she can go and work and I can rest. Because I've been doing far too much when I should have been resting. Oh my goodness, babe. Have you done it?
Yeah.
That's really good. My goodness. You're clever.
I know.
You're a smarty smart one.
I know.
Okay, it's nowhere near finished, but it's starting to look pretty good. It's taking shape. That's all my little childhood diaries and stuff behind that taped on there. Everything is coming into place. All of those magazines there, Amstrad Action and old retro magazines. Got my pictures back up on my Mensa certificate. GameCube and Wii games are up. That's the entire sum total of GameCube and Wii games. I never collected them. Various things from Mensa, newspapers, some of my law folders and things like that. And then box files of council work, business stuff, various correspondence. It's looking pretty good. How do you think it's gone today?
Very, very well, actually. Phase 2 of the Zoe's office rebuilding is now complete. Very pleased with the results. And it makes the room seem so much bigger. It's amazing how much better the use of space is. And we've got our magic shelf above the window with GameCube and Wii games on, which I'm very pleased with. I've had that planned for some time. And it just really uses space that would otherwise just be completely wasted. And I like that.
Well, it's been a long, drawn-out, tiring day sorting out the office. And it's taken out what little energy I had left after yesterday. Because you gotta remember, I'm still not entirely well and fully recovered. I push on as much as I can, but it's very hard. So I'm going to sit here for bits and maybe I'll get some writing done, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just end up watching videos on YouTube, maybe I won't. It's just been one of those days. Okay, so the setup in here is actually not that different from your point of view, but from my point of view, seeing the stuff behind, it's quite a different setup. And I'm having to lean down a little bit now to be able to speak into the camera because it's further back from the... As you can see, the angle's different, so it's further back from the desk, which means I actually have more usable space in this room. The room used to feel quite cramped, and if Jen was ever in here helping me with an edit or talking to me or just hanging out while I was working, then it was difficult because we're practically on top of each other. But now there's a little fold-out Z bed here, and the desk, and the chair, so I've got a lot more usable space in this room, which is really good. So I'm very impressed. So there hasn't been a huge amount that I can talk about for what I've done today because I ended up not doing any of the writing that I was talking about. So I'm going to just edit up the vlog and then have a rest because I don't want to push myself too much. I am still feeling the effects of the flare-up, and I'm so tired that I've had to just say that 3 times just to get it right, which is why there was that jump. There are still issues, but I'm feeling like I'm starting to get back under my feet. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be better and I can get out into town and check my emails down at the town hall, check my posts, things like that. I've got meetings coming up this week as well, so it's a busy time. I need to be as good as I can be. So I'm going to edit this up now and have an early night so I get a decent night's sleep, and we'll see how we get on from there.